Game of Thrones.
John Sim? Master of Coin?
Yeah.
No,
as in like Master of Coin's a title, isn't it?
John Sim has starred on for a series regular on Game of Thrones prequel.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you start. That's how you start a podcast.
That is how you start with Master of Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Hello. I do that a lot now. That strange voice. It's embedded in me.
It's your voice.
It is. Do it, Anakin. Do it. Say my name so that my powers may flow through you. Shazam.
Resident Evil 3 remake's getting released.
Connor, we have started, so we should introduce ourselves.
If you can't really
because
tell who we are.
Every podcast is somebody's first.
Yeah, I guess it is, yeah.
Hello and welcome.
Whether it be today or years time.
Welcome back or welcome to the party. It's No Bubble Podcast, episode 38. 38, man. The second one with 2 microphones.
Damn.
Connor might sit near his one gradually.
Is this any better?
That is, yes. It's a lot clearer. I like this because now it's like we're not right on top of each other, and you're
awkward.
Yeah. Oh, and you are heard.
I'm heard. My voice will be heard.
You're Amber Heard, but you're not getting beaten up by Johnny Depp. Ha ha! Shouldn't joke about that.
No,
that happened.
Beating is wrong.
Yeah, if you raise a hand to your partner of either gender or genderless specification, you're a dickhead.
Get out of the party.
That is how you do it. I'm really annoyed that this is like in the Game of Thrones recap because I just want to put a picture of Shazam up. But we're not talking about that in depth.
Or can't you just Photoshop and put a picture of Jon Snow with a sword and Shazam's head?
Just put Zachary Levi's face on Jon Snow's body.
No.
That is a dream. Welcome back to this wittering bunch of nonsense.
As always.
Connor.
Yes, hello.
My friend to the left of me.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes the right.
It's never really been the right.
But not always the middle. And me, the man who gave birth to this thing in a non-sexualised way.
And
yes,
is still standing.
The afterbirth was horrific. It is me. I'm George. Yeah. We have a new logo this week.
New logo?
Yeah, you've seen it.
Show me the new logo, George. I've not seen this new logo.
Yeah, because I put it in the Pasty Sheep group chat like 400 hours ago. Yes. Big shout out to Thomas Steele at Dark Nuke he sent me that on Twitter.
They followed me last night on Instagram.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dark Nuke.
Because we need to. The Dark Nuke Pasty Sheep collab is in the works when Matt sorts his shit out, which maybe never. So.
Neverland.
Leaving Neverland is a.
It's a new sketch we're
working. It's a horrifying documentary, and you should watch it if you are interested to see if Michael Jackson was a paedophile. The jury's still out. What we got? We got obviously GOT. Mm-hmm. Season 5, man.
I know.
That's where we are. We've only got 2 more of these after this. And then it is the final season. The final run.
I think I will have a break from the final. When the final season starts, I think I'll break. And when the last episode... It's 6 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, so you'll wait for week 6 and then watch them all?
Yes.
Because it's a bit weird for you, because you're sort of like all consuming it now.
I know, and then when episode 1 starts, I would want to sit here and go, right, give me answers, and I'm going to go...
And you're going to have to wait a week
for each episode.
And then you'll be like, and it's all over. But
no.
I can't believe how quick we've gone through the recap. People are liking this, I think, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe they don't.
No feedback given. I mean, guys.
People like Game of Thrones. I think we're covering a market, saturated, bleeded dry.
Trending.
We'll talk about Shazam, because we threw our Cineworld.
Wait, I thought he was called Captain Marvel.
He used to be. Did you watch that 101 Facts video?
I've still got it on my phone, yes.
How far did you get through?
About fact 50. Or no, 30.
It's interesting
33.
though, isn't it?
It is interesting.
Shout out to 101 Facts. Like, Sam, innit?
Good channel, yeah.
Yeah, he makes good videos.
Yeah, makes things about anything.
If he wants to subscribe and, give us a shout out.
I mean, feeling small and mutual. Help us, I'll help you out.
Yeah. Good video. I mean, the fact that he only does like that thing, but it's just so interesting. Like the facts he finds, you're like, oh, that's quite good. Yeah. That's quite interesting. But yeah, because I did like a brief recap of that just before we went into Shazam. Like I watched that video, so I was like, Just refresh all the things that I knew. Because there were bits in there that I was like, oh yeah, that's that thing. And you were like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, literally that film, all I can tell you is that he was a boy turns into a man.
That's Shazam.
And he was called Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
that's literally what it is.
So we'll be diving into that non-spoilery because obviously it doesn't come out until next Friday.
5th. Yeah, the 5th.
As the day of recording this, like a week and a day away. But because we have Cineworld Unlimited memberships, because we love film and run a pop culture podcast.
Because we're entitled.
Well, because we've got to do this, isn't it, really? It just makes it cheaper to talk about stuff because we're just using our cards. We had an unlimited screening.
Last night.
Very full.
Very full, yeah.
Not as full as Glass, but then Glass was in a smaller screen last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We were on the main screen and it was like Ramo, but we didn't get any free stuff, which was annoying.
No.
I've still got my James McAvoy magic card from Glass up there because that's the only good thing that came out of that movie. As you'll see if you listen to episode 29.
Was it?
I want to say.
I said 27.
I don't know. It's one of them. It's quite. Yeah, so we'll do non-spoilery this week, then next week because we'll have probably seen it again.
Yeah.
We'll go deep dive into spoilers because then, by the time that comes out on Sunday, it'll have been out. Some more people might have seen it, or some people. But hey ho, Connor, have you got any news, gossip, or scandal this week?
Scandals.
This is the news segment called Connor Reads Me the News, and I pretend I have not heard some of it.
Basically, you've heard all of it.
News.
Live on the air, right now.
Live. On Channel 5. Wait, no, we're not on Channel 5.
Okay, a thing I can talk about, because I mentioned to you yesterday and you were like, you should have been sent it over and shared it. If any of you fans are familiar with the franchise known as Borderlands.
Oh, yes.
I think they've got a PAX East conference thing going on at the moment.
I'll show you how interested I am in Borderlands. Keep talking to the audience.
There's a PAX East conference, I believe, going on. And yeah, they just went out the blue and went, Borderlands 3 is happening. Oh god, yeah, you're right. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, you've got all the versions. Well,
apart from a 360 version of the pre-sequel.
God, jeez. Oh yeah, and also the first game has been leaked, ESRB rated, so pretty much they're going to remaster the first game.
Oh yes, that gives us an opportunity to stream from Borderlands 1 to the pre-sequel.
Yeah, in preparation for 3.
Yes. We'll be terrible at that. Carry on, and I've got Tales from the Borderlands is so good.
But the thing is, we won't ever get an answer to that. No. We won't know any more about that.
You won't ever get an answer to the North Grove must never be lost. But anyway, I digress, Connor. Sorry for interrupting you, my friend. Carry on.
No, that literally, it was just I think a minute and 51 teaser trailer snippet, which basically it's just a bunch of statues, almost Weeping Angel-like. And there's a lot of new characters and a lot of unknown new faces.
That just went from... That was on 90 earlier. And then there
90.
was...
Games are vanishing.
7 games gone missing thing.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh god, game problems live on the air. No, literally a minute and a half teaser full of unknown faces, new strikes, a lot of but you have a lot of familiar assemble faces that everyone will recognise. Such as the lovely Claptrap, Lilith. There was Handsome Jack. There was a statue of Handsome Jack in there. There was a Mordecai. Yeah, Mordecai Brick and Tiny Tina, who is kind of redesigned and somewhat different. Apparently it's like her, not as tiny.
How do you...
How do you what?
How do you unhide things?
There was a way to unhide things.
I've literally lost 7 games. And I think I know what ones they are.
What are they?
Assassin's Creed Chronicles Russia. What else did I delete?
But they're not in your... Or then search the games, maybe search them up on the store one by one to see if it will say you own them.
Yeah. So
do that. Well, yeah, no, it's not a lot to carry on. It's literally just a bunch of statues with a lot of new faces that you'll go, who? But then the few faces that we all recognise. And then there was no release date. And then the statues sort of zoom out and it's revealed to be like the Psycho Mask logo. Actually, it looks pretty cool in the end, but there's no release date.
Syndicate as well. It's taken my copy of Syndicate. I had a free copy of Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Then search it.
Oh.
Why would it do that?
That's really fucking annoyed me.
It would me do. But then, the thing is, will it say install? Will it say you have to buy it?
Install. There you go.
Yeah, so you have it.
Oh, so now I've got to search through games. I don't remember them.
Oh,
God.
But you just said you remembered them. That was the point.
I remembered that one because I was like, wait, I had that. Oh, for God's sake.
Xbox going wrong on the air.
Yes, but is there anything? Yeah, so Borderlands. I'm excited for Borderlands. That was the thing I tried to say before
Xbox happened.
Hmm.
Angelina Jolie joins Marvel superhero universe. That's news literally on the air.
News on the air.
What's
she joining?
Closing a deal to star in a superhero movie based on the Eternals.
Oh yeah, because that's meant to be like that's a big player in Phase 4 or post Infinity Saga.
Mysterio. Yeah, the Mysterio. The Eternals, isn't they what Spider-Man and Mysterio are up against in Homecoming? Or is
no, that's the Elementals.
Oh, okay, but they're both E's. Oh, alright, okay.
Yeah. Very similar things.
No official announcement's been made, but it's
Forgot there was a Rogue remaster. Need that.
Oh yeah, Assassin's Creed 3 remaster is coming soon.
Lovely.
Yeah, I think it's out on PlayStation.
Here we go.
No official announcement's been made, but it's understood that Marvel is moving ahead with its project after Kevin Feige confirmed its development last April.
Come on, louder, son. Go on.
As part of Marvel Phase 4.
There we go.
The rap suggested the central character of the Eternal film. Angelina Jolie is playing someone called Cersei. Not
Cersei Lannister.
Unfortunately, no.
Ugh.
That'd be bloody nice.
I hate Cersei Lannister.
One of a group of near-immortal humans given superpowers by aliens.
Aliens!
She's working on Maleficent. Wait, they're making a second Maleficent film.
Oh, here we go. Oh, so what it's done is it's put them on... No?
No. What has it done?
Well, I installed you. Didn't even want you. Just because you're free, I'm installing Adventure Time Pirates of the Career.
I haven't played that. I've not watched Adventure Time.
Oh my god, Adventure Time's wicked, man.
No, I haven't.
I'm going to just break my Xbox now by finding... I've got 4 games to find. Okay. It's going well. That was one of them. I literally just did that one.
Should be free. I always see that and see the price and think, shit, but, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Too much silence, Connor. Yes. Go on, find me some more... Big Finish, you said the news. For all the people that love listening to Doctor Who instead of watching it with their eyeballs.
Well, this is the year for that, as there's no more Doctor Who to watch anymore, other than...
No more. Apart from the 50-odd years.
Hello, Tom Baker's face on the season covers.
You're a good guess.
They are all just going to bring out the Tom Baker seasons. I feel like the next announcement for that is just going to be Tom Baker's face.
If it's season 17, I'll be so happy.
I'll be annoyed.
Mercy, Lord,
Do season 13. Just season 13.
Season 13, season 14,
yeah, then go
season
that
15,
way.
16, 17.
Not 17, 16. Yeah, make season 13.
Well, like we've said before on here, dude. 13, 17, 14, 16, 15. Done.
Oh, do it. Yeah.
That makes me feel happy. Tingly on the inside.
But alright, Big Finish. For any of you listeners of Doctor Who, but not viewers, which, you know, why?
No one's viewing it.
Why?
But fucking 4 games.
Ravenous 4, the current ongoing saga of Paul McGann audios that honestly feel like they're never ending. Bioshock, what? What about Bioshock?
Sorry, I just remembered another one. It's because I downloaded the Bioshock.
Bioshock!
I downloaded the Bioshock trilogy.
Coming to you from Big Finish in 2020. Ravenous 4.
This podcast brought to you by George remembering the games that he owned.
Yeah, Ravenous 4 is the end of the Ravenous storyline, but we've also announced today that the Doctor versus the Master, or Masters, is happening.
The Master Race.
As well as Missy.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got Missy, Jeffrey Beavers.
Jeffrey, is it me now? My
Jeffrey
turn.
Beavers.
I remembered another one. Carry on.
Derek Jacobi. And then the one and only... Always
I'm
dresses for
usually
the
referred
occasion.
to as the Oh no, not they'll go there. I am usually referred to as the Master.
No, that would be better, to be fair. But Eric Roberts is back. He always dresses for the occasion, and he's back once again.
Oh, Bruce, the Asian child.
Asian child. Oh,
I always Dres. Open the eye!
I actually cannot wait to start these commentaries and go through.
Should we start off with the movie and only do the movie?
Only do the movie.
But dub over it in various doctors' voices. I don't remember what incarnation I was.
Would depend to be companions.
It's completely inconceivable.
Do it behind the sofa. Behind the camera reacts behind the sofa of the movie.
Behind the sofa commentary, behind the scenes reaction
to the movie
in 3D.
3D/4K. If
Metal Gear Solid. I downloaded that. That was free.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ! This is hurting my brain. That one.
Metal Gear. That one.
Do you believe love can bloom on the battlefield? Metal Gear.
Solid.
Snake?
Snake.
Snake!
Snake.
Oh, God.
Have you played the original Metal Gear?
I have not.
Well, you are missing out.
Well, I am also missing games. Okay, two more, Connor.
That's the only
two
one.
more.
Well, what? Give me a clue. So
I really wish I could remember. I'm like trying to think, what ones did I delete earlier? Because it's all the ones that I deleted that they didn't go into ready to install.
Why would you delete? Are you saving them for space, or did you just not want to play them?
No, I was just going to put them in the ready to install, so it's like, I will play these later.
Yeah, when you want. Yeah, okay.
And it's like, okay, it's in here somewhere, don't worry. It's Battlefront 2, because I don't need it. While I...
Hang on, 2 goat simulators, 360 in...
360 in that one, and
you're
then the more Goats edition, the MMO Goats. Battlefield 1! That's another one!
You're so close.
Alright, so while I think of the last game that is missing from my library, will you describe in spoiler-free...
Spoiler-free.
Give spoiler-free thoughts
on Captain Shazam.
On Captain Shazam Marvel.
Captain Shazamville.
Yes.
Captain Shazamville. Alright.
Okay, go for it. Ready and begin. Didn't have to be a line.
No, hey, what?
Let me guess. Does it start with boy meets girl?
Wrong! Well, no.
Boy meets wizard.
Yeah, and wizard who looks like a funny Dumbledore of slightly different colour.
I can't spell Battlefield.
Exhales. He exhales his power. Wibbity bobbity boo, like the fairy godmother. They touch staffs, and they have to say the magic word. And I'll give the audience time to think. Let's just before you burst the answer, George, like you ruin everything. Let's just give the audience time to think of that magic word.
Pasty sheep.
Not thought of it. Well, sorry, it's spoiler. It's not. The only spoiler I'm giving. It's not pasty sheep.
Oh,
as cool as that would have been.
Is it Captain Marvel?
I mean, you're
my
kind of
name! Because he goes, say my name, so you got my powers, and does he go, Captain Marvel? Oh, wait, no, that's copyright.
Legal.
Captain Marvel, Shazam, is a 2019 motion picture released by Warner Brothers and DC.
I was like, what's Warner Brothers? Who are Warner Brothers?
Yeah, spoiler free. Shazam's really good.
I'd say the least.
Like, when we had the thing of, like, what we're looking forward to, Shazam or Aquaman, you were like, Shazam looks like crap.
Oh, for weeks, for months even, I was just saying.
You're like, no Shazam for me, thank you. I'll
No.
have no Shazam on my turkey this
DC,
mother.
no thank you. DC, no thank you. Marvel, yes, sign me up. Like, I'd happily see Captain Marvel over Shazam. I was looking forward to Captain Marvel, even though, like Shazam, I didn't know anything about Captain Marvel either. But I did leave Captain Marvel, as you know from the previous episodes. I left a little bit unsatisfied in a way. Whereas with Shazam, no expectations, no hopes, just nothing. I just thought, oh crap, another crappy DC film. I kind of have to sit film because I'm contractually obliged on behalf of Pasty Sheep. And then left the film, just my throat was hurting from laughter and hysteria and just whatever the hell I watched. It was just a masterpiece. To say the least.
A masterpiece.
You dressed for the occasion.
Forza Horizon, there you go, done.
Oh, hooray. Oh. What, Uno?
No, I've already got Uno.
No, I mean, which
Forza Horizon 2.
Oh, 2. I'll say, yeah, Uno.
I perfected Uno.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah.
Good God. Oh, dear.
Yeah, it stars, quickly get the cast list up. Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi.
Mark Strong. Zachary Levi is, so basically, if you're not familiar with the plot of Captain Shazam Marvel, or as we shall refer to him by his normal name, Shazam. Basically, the story from the comics: a boy, Billy Batson, foster child, is imbued with the powers of a wizard called Shazam, and every time you speak the name, the powers
physically transforms him.
So the powers flow through him, and they transfer him to his full potential. Like that's what the wizard says.
Full potential. Yeah.
We're trying to
as
do
an
this.
adult.
We're trying to do this, not spoiling it.
As an adult. Yeah.
So it's Billy Batson played by Asher Angel, I believe.
Asher Angel. Yeah.
What a guess! He plays Billy Batson, and then his adult counterpart when he is full super is Zachary Levi. Then you've got his lives with foster family. Freddie, played by.
Are you going to guess, or do you just want to say?
I don't know that one.
Jack Dylan Grazer, who I've not heard of.
No, well, he was good.
Jack Dylan Grazer.
There's Dr. Savannah, primary antagonist from Shazam, is played by Mark Strong. His second outing.
Oh, yeah.
Second outing is it second or third? Was he in Watchmen? I
can't tell you. You know more stuff than me, but I'm looking him up now. Filmography. He's in Sherlock Holmes, Kick-Ass. He's in Green Lantern. He's Sinestro.
He's Sinestro and Green Lantern. Is he in?
He is in.
He's got to be in something else.
Kingsman.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Grimsby. He's been in some things.
Grimsby. Been so third comic book adaptation thing.
Right, Kingsman's a comic book.
Yeah, Kingsman's a comic book. It's a graphic novel. I think the same people that do Kick-Ass, if I'm not mistaken.
I still haven't needed to see Kingsman.
There it is. Look at that last one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Break my Xbox by downloading all this stuff and never deleting it until I've played it. Huzzah!
Yeah, please.
It's having a spaz a sec. It's having a spaz install.
Oh, it says pause or redeem.
Why is it doing that? Maybe because I've got too much stuff downloading?
Maybe, I guess. You shouldn't do that.
Okay. I'll come back to that. But I remembered it, so that's fine. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, Shazam is Mark Strong.
Mark Strong Dr. Savannah.
Who's the villain?
He's the primary villain. He is. Bad old boy. Old Marky Strong.
Miserable old git.
Really, it's without spoiling it, like the stuff they choose to adapt is adapted very well. I would say it's a great jumping on point if you're if you know nothing about this character, you'll learn.
I also think for the DCEU in general, forget all the other films that have come before it, because that's like the forgotten shitey era. Oh yeah,
because now it's like, yes, they're all in the same universe, but we're not focusing on making them interconnected. It's all about just making these franchises work, which I get it, and I am here for it, and my God, I can't believe Nick Fury dies.
He was such a good man.
Yeah, like Thanos comes in and like beats Shazam. Oh wait, no. Wait, that's Darkseid.
Captain Marvel. Oh, Darkseid. Oh.
Imagine if Darkseid had a cameo at the end. There is.
Someone saying cameo. Someone did.
Yeah, there is.
But we don't know who.
So, it's the basic story of a coming of age. It's like if Big was a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Because and Zachary Levi plays really well, like the fact that he is a 14-year-old in his body,
in an
adult body,
yeah,
with superpowers. Like that aspect's done really well. They play off that really well. The guy whose name escapes me, who plays the wizard, who's also Korath from Guardians.
Yes, Geezer's name.
Digimon Mr. Geezer is very good.
Digimon. No, not Digimon.
Digimon Honsu.
There you go.
There you go.
Honsu. Yeah, good old Mr. Honsu.
He plays Wizard, and it's surprisingly small scale considering it's all just like dealing with the world of like magic and stuff like that, and different universes and
sorcery and
such forth, and Bolax and stuff like that. It's really, if you get a chance, go see it. Like if you've been let down by DC, God knows we have.
Oh, too many. Just think the initials hurts.
Yeah. It's not just like a good DC movie. I think it's just a really enjoyable like popcorn flick superhero movie. You're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Even if
a lot of laughs. We laughed a lot.
Even for people that aren't exactly the biggest comic book nerds and think, like, well, say if you're a female, for example, and you get dragged by your partners to see the film and you think, oh, good God, this ain't for me, but you sort of go along anyway, you'll just have a good time anyway. Just don't take it seriously, you'll be fine.
Yeah, go in for what it is.
It feels like a normal film. If you take out the fact that he's in a spandex and he's a superhero, just watch it and you'll laugh. If you don't, then there's
it's
something
enjoyable,
wrong.
It's basic. It's not going to set your world on fire, but you're going to have a lot of fun with it. We will go in depth into spoilers next week's episode.
Yeah,
so
next week,
you boys and girls have a chance to go and see it with your eye holes and your ear balls.
Ear balls, disturbing film.
It's a new thing I'm trying. Shall we?
Show you.
Journey
to the TARDIS, to the centre of the TARDIS.
That is the worst. One day we've got to do our top 10 like New Who episodes. We'll have to do a list. Like Big Dan Cast style, we'll do our top 10 New Who, we'll do our top 10 Classic Who, and we'll just rant about it and argue and
debate
and say why Horns of Nimon is the best thing that's ever come out of BBC television.
You know what? I'm done.
Come back in. It's not even funny anymore when you do that. It just messes up the whole analytical audio, bastard boy.
Bastard boy.
Shall we? I was going to say. Shall we? See, look, no, fucked it. No.
Oh, whatever. The microphone likes me.
Shall we journey back to the land that time forgot to tell that you're not allowed to have relations with your own family and journey across the narrow sea?
Oh, I see. Jesus Christ, that is the most unimaginable.
I didn't know how I could segue it, but I got there in the end.
To the narrow sea, yes.
So it's GOT, season 5.
5.
The second season that you have not seen.
Nope.
So how did this season treat you, Connor? As an adult human male who identifies as a toaster.
Wait, what? I didn't click with toaster.
You identify as a toaster because you're such a big fan of Stephen Toast.
I'm very, but I don't get what he's got to do with this.
I would love, I was thinking this, just a quick sidetrack. You know Ilario from season 1?
Yes.
Who's there with Daenerys?
Yes.
Imagine if he was played by Matt Berry. This is Khal Drogo, Khaleesi. The Dothraki Horde welcome you with open arms. Viserys is a wanker. Just let me put that in your head.
It is in my head.
You know what? I might make my video, me pretending to be Matt Berry as Ilario from season 1 of Game of Thrones.
And just
we could do a series called What If Matt, the what ifs of Marvel, what if so and so. Ours would just be what if Matt Berry got this job instead of another one. What if Matt Berry was in so and so.
Oh God! Geez,
what if Matt Berry narrated the season 18 box set?
Oh no!
Doctor Who season 18 Blu-ray box set disc 1. Tom Baker sounds confused on disc 1. It's like disc 1
on season 18. I've still not opened it.
Disc 1. What one are we doing again today? I don't remember.
I think
Doctor Who season 7. Oh my God! I shouldn't have said that. Anyway. Brief summary. What did you think of season 5?
Well,
without spoiling a fucking. How old is it now? 4 years old.
Because it was the year I left school. 2014. Yeah, because I looked it up.
2015.
Wait, was it 2014?
It's 2015.
Okay, I then started college then. Yeah. Oh no.
Correct. Correct. Have mercy.
Well. Just say I'm a changed man after watching season 5, but I think for the
even
worst.
More changed than watching season 4.
Yes, but for the worst. Season 4 was great. This season's let me down.
You were really down compared. Last week, you were like, "Yes, season 4. I need to consume all of Game of Thrones," and then you were like, I'm watching episode 10, and I'm just broken, and everyone keeps dying, and it was oh, Connor.
This is becoming the most pitiful show I've ever seen.
I would say my friend James, who may or may not be listening. When he watched episode 10 when it went out, so he tweeted before episode 10 of Game of Thrones went out, can't wait for Game of Thrones. And after the ending, episode 10 went, I'm so done with Game of Thrones. And I was like,
that's how I feel.
that's what it will do to you.
I feel like I am done with it.
Mood change in an hour.
Yeah, it does. It's really powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
4 years old, 5 years old, doesn't matter how old it is.
Is it better or worse? Or just more harrowing? Is it like watching The Punisher? Does it just beat you down?
This one actually does all over, more emotionally, and just in terms of wow factor, it's really sort of knocked me down. like a dagger.
And we thought nothing could top the Red Wedding, but it's
well, yeah. But this wasn't even.
This is like no mercy.
Scale.
Yeah, it's like smaller, but it's just no mercy. It's like anyone, you dead.
Don't matter who. That's the thing.
Who?
Yeah, you might as well called it Doctor Who presents Game of Thrones. You know, like you don't.
Yes.
But then regenerate. Like, why isn't regeneration a thing for some people? Well, I mean, it is
for
the
mountain.
Oh yeah, and the mountain.
The mountain's played by 3 actors.
He is.
Who am I fighting?
and now he can't. What was it? He said in. Oh no,
He's the same.
They said in episode 9, like they can't talk until all the sworn enemies are dead, and
he's got a vow of silence now.
He cannot say a single word.
Shall we deep dive into all the storylines and plot threads and everything that happened?
Just get it done. I'm not doing it next week. I'm not.
No, you'll be really happy. Season 6 is really nice. I mean, more people die, but like it's a lot. It's a lot more like. It's a lot more like revenge killing. So it's like, oh, I wanted you to die. Yay!
Oh, thank God. Right, okay.
Some people might not stay dead.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Means whatever you want it to mean. So, I don't remember how this season starts because I watched it. Like normally, what I do is I wait till Monday and then I watch like 3 episodes. Then the Tuesday I watch like 4 and then I watch like 3, or I'll try and space it out so that I at least watch some stuff. I watched it all over 2 days. I just couldn't stop.
Fair enough.
Like I was like, oh god, it's episode 10, and oh god, he's dead. But before we get to that bit,
he being the best character.
So I'm literally trying to rack my brains what happened. So we start with Daenerys because I sort of remember that.
Yeah, good. All right, you remember it.
Should we pick up with Tyrion, didn't we? What's that?
Oh,
Tyrion. Yeah. Should we Tyrion and then Daenerys?
Yeah, because
that's sort of
kind of coexist.
That's almost important.
Very important.
I think we got. I don't think anyone noticed that we nearly just like said what happened then. I'm just rubbing the pop filter on my microphone, and yes, that is a euphemism.
Yes.
So Connor.
Yes.
We start. Tyrion killed Tywin at the end of season 4.
Yeah, wait, did he? That felt like a week ago. I can't remember. Well, what happened?
You remember, like, he crossbowed him, was like, I have always been your son.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's when Varys puts him on the ship. Okay.
Yeah, no,
so we resume with Tyrion of House Lannister. Him and Varys, they're travelling across the sea in the ship. So we get to the point where he's in Volantis. He arrives in Volantis.
Yeah, he's Volantis.
We have Varys. Varys lets him out of the box, and they make a joke about pushing turds through the air holes and having to click him off the ship. Because he's been in the box the whole time just so no one knows that it's Tyrion. Yeah. Because everyone is after him because
of what happened.
Because of the fact that he shot Tyrion. He shot himself. No, he shot Tywin, his dad. Because he slept with Shay and tried to frame him for Joffrey's murder when it wasn't him.
It wasn't me.
No. It wasn't Tyrion. Wasn't Tywin. I even cut his hand off. It wasn't Jaime. Oh, look. How did it take that long? Look at Jaime's. The Macro Terror. I really want to watch that. So he, so off the ship is in Volantis. So they're traveling. Varys is taking him to Daenerys.
To Daenerys, yeah.
But without telling him, it's like because they believe that they should because keeps saying, doesn't he? Like, I'm all for what's best for the realm. Yeah, so he believes that she is the leader that will start a new dynasty that will be best for the world. The best
leader, yeah. Yeah.
So
that's been his agenda since season 1, except we didn't know then who he was trying to help.
So he takes him in a box.
In a cardboard box.
They're going to... What place they're going to? Because they're going to Marine, but they need to go somewhere to get onto the road to Marine. So it's like Pentos or something.
All I remember is, like you say, they end up in Volantis, and I can't...
They go from Volantis and he says, why are you going here? Because that's the road to Marine.
Yes.
Because they're heading to Marine because that's where Daenerys Targaryen is. They end up in a brothel because
it's Tyrion.
Because Tyrion is bored of... He says, I need to talk to someone with hair.
Sums him up perfectly.
There's some great team-ups this season.
Oh, and I Oh, damned emails, yeah.
Yeah, great. So it's just them bickering like an old married couple. They get to a brothel, and he's drinking because he's literally all he's been doing is drinking. Like he hasn't eaten. Like just
he's
just drinking.
But he gets to this point where he's got like not alcohol poisoning, but he puked it out, and it also
that's like when he gets off the boat, isn't it? And then he just carries on, and then not really sleeping. So and then he's talking to one of the women of the night, shall we call them, at the brothel. Because they have one that looks like Daenerys that like everyone wants a bit of because everyone wants to feel like they're royalty.
Daenerys.
And so he's talking to this other one. And she like goes to take him, and he's like, "I can't. No one's more surprised than me, and I really hope this passes."
Yeah,
because he's got some kind. I think he's got like nerves or something, or like some kind of PTSD thing. He's a bit sort of like not really with it mentally.
No,
I think it's because of Shay, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Because he can't exactly get over it, but at the same time, he wants to. That's why he's drinking.
Yeah. So then he goes. He's like, "A piss is a good start." Like goes to We Off the Bridge, and then none other than good old Jorah Mormont is in the same.
What a heel turn!
He's in the brothel because he was sent away by Dany at the end of season 4 because they found out he used to be a traitor.
Poor bastard.
Which was like, no, he used to be, but then he saved her. Like in season 1, that's why he turned because he loves her and believes in her and all that crap. So he captures Tyrion and says, "I'm taking you to the Queen," because he believes that will win over her. It'll win over Daenerys, like winning a trust back. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they go in a boat. They have a good team up. They just like it's just Tyrion being a prisoner.
It is,
and they're attacked by the Stone Men.
Yeah, I want to say Sand people, but they're
because we've been introduced sort of to the disease known as grayscale, which like it infects the skin, like turns it like stony, drives you mad in the brain.
Yeah.
The only person we've really seen with it is Shireen. Because she had it as a baby, Shireen Baratheon, but she's still got the scar, but she's cured of it. So if you can't let them touch her.
No.
As soon as they touch you, then it's infected.
Yeah.
They get attacked while they're in the boat. Tyrion gets dragged under while he's tied up. He gets rescued by Jorah, so they continue on their journey. But Jorah has grayscale because he does the thing. He closes him and he pulls up his sleeve and he's got a stony little bit on his arm that's going to really become a problem soon. So he carries on his journey.
He's dying next season.
Is he though?
Oh god damn it! Fine, season 7 he dies.
Is he though?
God damn it!
So that's the basic journey until we catch up to Daenerys. Is them getting up there. So let's fill in Daenerys.
Yes, just
up to that point. So before now she's on her own. She's still got Barristan and Selmy. She's still got Grey Worm, like the the Unsullied, Missandei,
and Dario Naharis,
played by the same actor that who
didn't regenerate.
He was the second time, so he only changed once.
Yeah,
from Francis from Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Francis from Deadpool. That's how I knew him.
He's bald in real life, isn't he? And like, that's a really long wig when he wears that in season 3.
Yeah, I thought you forgot about Francis.
Yeah, so they're doing bits. They're still conquering. Well, they've amassed army. They've amassed like followers. They're in.
She's just trying to.
She's liberating. Yeah, she got to Marine at the end of last season. She's in Marine trying to liberate, like free, change all the things. But the people were fighting against having their traditions changed because she closes. She kills the slavers, closes the fighting pits, but then is urged to reopen them because it's what gives them something to do, like a sense of purpose, like a sense of living. Yeah. So as she's debating this, basically learning how to rule as a monarch and as a leader, she is also being targeted by thank you for the word because I didn't know that, by the Sons of the Harpy.
Yeah, the mysterious men in golden masks.
Big horny masks, golden, and are they purists from Marine or something? They're just they believe that she needs to be stopped. She needs to be killed in order for Marine to form a glory and other such stuff and nonsense.
They just want Marine to be free, and they just don't think Daenerys is best suited, and they just want to get rid of her.
Yeah, they want to get her out.
They just want to get rid of her for good.
They voted out.
Yeah, they said no to Brexit,
but they're not going to wait and then delay it. And then Theresa May's resigning after. A Brexit deal goes through. That was one of her things. It's like, if my deal gets done, I'll resign. It's like, yay.
I'm good.
Anyway, enough about politics because I listen to this for escapism. Yeah, so Sons of the they target people. There's what is it? Because one of the members of the Unsullied, I don't remember what his name is, but goes to a brothel. But because even though they're all eunuchs, but he does it just to be sort of like held and like have contact with someone.
Yeah.
And then like as it's happening, like he gets his throat slit by one of them.
Yeah, what an evil woman.
Yeah, and they go and they're exploring around the town, then a group of the Unsullied, including Grey Worm, get like attacked.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
As Barristan, who's becoming really close to Daenerys because he obviously knew he fought for the Mad King, her father, and knew Rhaegar, her older brother, and like sharing stories about that. And then she says to him to go, go and have a song for me, like go and like sort of have a bit of time off.
Yeah, exactly.
You've had a long day.
Have a laugh.
Have a couple down the pub, and then come. I'll see you tomorrow. But as he's going, like he's all sort of happy, but then he senses like because he can hear the kerfuffle.
Yeah, he
senses. And then it's just a corridor, and like I was like, it's all enclosed, and like Sons of the Harbour, like they pounce on the inside, and Barristan's there like trying to defend because Grey Worm's been stabbed a couple of times with spears, and Barristan, even though he's an old git, he's taking him down, and then he's like and then like 3 of them stab him at once, and literally like. It's horrible watching that again because I really like Barristan Selmy. Like he's such a good character.
To me, I don't think he really did enough. I think he should have done a little bit more.
I feel like they couldn't do enough because they were obviously going to kill him off anyway because he was just the stopgap Jorah.
He just dead in the... Well, yeah, he kind of was, yeah. Jorah 2.0.
But I liked him because the whole reason that he went to her in season 3 was because he wants to know what it's like to feel pride fighting for what he believes in rather than serving a tyrant or someone who he doesn't believe in.
A monarch.
So yeah, Barristan dies. Grey Worm takes a few more out. They've managed to. I think they kill all the ones that are in that.
They do kill them all.
Because just as another one's about to I think get Barristan Grey Worm summons the strength.
Yeah.
So they have to mourn the passing of Barristan. So now she's got no counsel, which is sort of how.
A bit worrying.
Which is sort of like it's okay for Jorah because now he's got to root back in. Because if Barristan was still there, she wouldn't need she wouldn't need counsel. So we catch up. She reopens the fighting pits, and who else bloody gets there? But Jorah freaking Mormont and Tyrion Lannister.
Well, he sort of said to her back in season 4, "I'd be back." Yeah. He pretty much becomes the Terminator.
Because he's literally determined to prove his worth and get her to trust him. So he's doing that
out of love, out of respect.
Because I love you. Can you see me now, Khaleesi? My rich bronzy glow. He so he's in the fighting pit. Sneak he goes in, fights, takes his helmet off, and she's like, "Get him out of my sight." He's like, "But I bought you a gift," and Tyrion's like, "I am a gift. My name is Tyrion Lannister." And everyone,
who are you?
And all of us that have been watching it for 5 seasons are like,
literally my face was just face palm, just like.
How did you feel that those 2 major characters met?
No, I literally just went, "Oh my god!" It's what all the internet fanboys at the time were probably hyping in their head, and then when it actually happened, it was just, "Oh my god!"
Wait till certain other major characters meet.
Oh my god, you're saying too much. Now,
yeah. So he is then like Barristan, like Jorah, wanting to become part of her council because of she is a Targaryen, strong claim to the throne, believes that she will be better than whoever's in power, and Tyrion knows he's never going to get anywhere near the throne because he's always been the outcast of his family and stuff like that.
The outsider.
Everyone hates him, so he wants to.
He just wants to
be part of. He wants to be part of
something
that's successful, and so exactly, mate.
Yeah.
So he's sort of doing that, because also he says you need someone who knows Westeros. Because he's been there.
Which is the excellent point. Because, thinking about Daenerys, though, her coming to Westeros, which, great, it's a whole new world for her, and, she's obviously got to go out and conquer it and discover it, but then she would have been kind of buggered because...
She hasn't been there since she was a baby.
There. Barristan, alright, he's guard, but like you say, gone.
Jorah, she doesn't trust.
No. Dario is a
sellsword
boy, yeah.
So he's not going to know. Neither the Unsullied.
He's an Essex boy. Unsullied, Essex Harvard. And then, so her council would have been screwed if it weren't for Tyrion.
Yeah. Also, because Jorah, even if she had Jorah on her council, Jorah was exiled for years.
He wouldn't be welcome.
Yeah, so because he ruled, and he makes a good point, when he was the temporary King's Hand until Tywin came back, he did it well because he knew the people, and he is a person of the people, because he believed like he said back in season 1, he has like a soft spot for cripples, bastards, and broken things because of that's who he is. So he has more affiliation for the
general,
for the base level people, for the people on the ground. So they form a nice little. She's like distrustful of him at first because of the Lannisters. She's like, why would I want like she's out to like she says like kill them. It's like so am I.
She's like, oh, he says I'm the best Lannister killer around because I killed my mum when I was born. Yeah. I shot my dad with a crossbow, and she's like, oh, I don't want Lannister killers. Just because you're a Lannister killer doesn't mean I'm going to trust you.
Yeah, but he's sort of like, yeah, I'm an outcast. I'm here to be on your team. I don't want them either. And it's like,
take it or leave it.
You go, boy. And then
let's get this party started.
Then it's so they form a nice friendship. They carry on going to the fight because again, like so much happens between them all, but not a lot happens. So like Grey Worm's recovering like from his injuries, still having like because there's a romantic affiliation between him and Missandei. Dario and Daenerys' relationship is
blossoming,
a lot of physical because obviously she's had no one since Drogo. And so they're all sort of like coasting along. She sends Jorah back to the pits because she doesn't trust him. Because she even says to Tyrion, like, "What would you have me do with him?" It's like, and he says like, as much as he clearly like likes you and stuff like that, like you can't have someone like him with you when you take over. Yeah, because it's sort of like contradicting yourself, sort of thing. And then, which is a bit like Jorah must have been like, "Dude, I brought you here," and you're just like,
what the hell, man? What the hell, man?
So he goes back to the fighting pits to prove himself, and she takes him back after, like, she goes to another fighting pit session, and he kills
with the lads.
He kills someone, and then kills one of the sons of the Harpy that he sees an assassination attempt on her.
Yeah, because he just randomly throws a spear, and
they think they're aiming it at her, and kills one of the sons of the Harpy behind her, and then so that regains trust. But as they're under attack, swarmed in the arena, and then
they
forgot to mention the way the dragons are. She's because she can't control them because they're getting bigger. She's put Viserion and Rhaegar
locked them up.
Yeah, no, not Rhaegar, Rhaegal. I keep forgetting because they're all bloody similar names.
Yeah, Drogon,
Drogon, Rhaegal, and Viserion. Viserion after her brother Viserys. Drogon after Drogo.
Yeah, and then the other one
Rhaegar after her brother.
Oh,
yeah. Yes. So. Yeah, that happens, and so she's not two of them in there because Drogon, the biggest one's like gone off, keeps killing sheep, and no one's seen him. But then miraculously comes back in the Colosseum, and she flies away on the dragon for the first time. Sods off, leaves the others there who can get out because Marine's a bit in ruin. She's left on the hillside and is captured by the Dothraki.
Okay. Yeah, because that's how it kind of ends. Because she's just herself all swarmed by the people.
Yeah, because she doesn't know where she is, and she's got to try and get back. And then they come to the agreement, to rule, to prove themselves to her.
I was going to get
Dario does take control, doesn't he? And he goes,
he does.
He says, "All right, so the thing to do is none of us have any experience ruling. Tyrion, you rule with the help of Grey Worm as voice of the Unsullied and the Free Folk, and Missandei, while Dario and Jorah go off looking for her because they need to track her and find her and bring her back. So they're all sort of working as a team, even though none of them have reason to trust each other. So they're doing that. And so this little section of the story ends with Dario and Jorah off to find her.
Daenerys.
And Tyrion, Missandei, and Grey Worm
looking after
holding the fort. Really,
holding the fort. Yeah. Looking after.
That's all that's really going on in the old Essos, really. Yeah. But more important things to come as we cross back over the sea. Actually, no. Should we stay this side of the sea and talk about a certain Stark girl? I really like Jack and Hagar. Like he's such a good character.
He was mysterious as hell in this.
A girl says one thing. A girl is
no one.
So where was Arya the last time we saw her, Connor?
She was on a boat. She was leaving Westeros on a boat to Bravos.
Yes.
Because she found her coin. She had the coin and
from Jack.
Vala Morghulis.
Yep. Say this to any first son of Bravos.
Yeah.
If you need to find me again.
Yeah. And that's basically.
She does that, and she ends up at the house of Black and White.
Which I didn't think it was called a House of Black until literally.
When he goes, "Welcome to the House of Black and White." And
yeah,
it's like, it's
like, oh gosh, right.
So she is to learn how to be no one and be like Jacques and Hagar, be able to disguise herself and kill people because she wants to start getting some names off that list. Like some, as she says, some of the gods have taken from her, but some are still to be taken.
Yes.
So she's learning the ways. She's like sleeps outside there when it's raining for a couple of days, and then starts going off trying to just sort of like live. And before she's grouped on by a bunch of boys, and then the old man from the house brings her in. She has to start scrubbing floors before she's like scrubbing bodies.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Then the old man reveals himself to be Jacques and Hagar. Jacques and Hagar, and it's like a girl is no one. So she has to learn from learn to discipline because she has all of the Aria's her stuff still. It's like if you're meant to be like me and be able to like go in anywhere, fit in anywhere. If you've got all of your own stuff, people are going to know it's you. It's basically what he's saying.
Yeah, you
because he does it in riddles. Yeah, you have to become no one. Because if you're Arya Stark, everyone will know who you are.
And you're
weak. And you're basically
you're fucked.
You're vulnerable, really, aren't you? And so she gets rid of her original clothes. She hides a needle. She was going to throw a needle, but she hides it because it's too much value. A needle will be back.
Oh, great! Yeah,
I'm sure
needle needs to be there.
Needle needs to be. You needle it.
Needed.
So and she starts doing. She gets oysters and stuff like that, doesn't she? And she has
oysters and clams and.
Oysters, clams, and cockles.
Cockles, yeah.
And she's going around the harbour, feeding people, making money like gradually, and then she has to then go certain ways to listen to people that Jacques knows because you can only take life from the god. If it's warranted, you can't just take someone else because that's stealing, and death is only like served with death or whatever it says.
Which he kind of which he does realise
because that's the whole reason he gave her the 3 names. Like you saved for us 3 from God, so give me 3 names, and then that the debt is paid. So it's this old man. I don't remember what he's because he's I believe he's betting on ships that won't make it to their destination, then has people killed if they do make it, just so he keeps the money.
Yeah, something along them lines, yeah.
But she gets distracted because of, I forget his name from the King's Guard.
So do I, yeah. But he was from, season 1?
He killed Sadio Farrell.
Farrell, yeah.
So if you don't
wish he came back.
If you don't remember who he is, he was the water dance instructor who helped her learn the art of sword fighting. Instead of just, bash, the movement and how it is like a dance. And he's the one who said to her, "What do we say to the god of death? Not today." And he was so the one that killed him in season 1. Yeah. She finds and she follows to a brothel. Because why not?
Yes.
And he is after young girls, which you think, it's just going to be a bit Jimmy Sav.
Just a little bit.
But yeah, so he's got them and he's beating them. Because I don't remember if that's because of, Arya got away.
Mirren Trant.
Yeah, because he's on the list, isn't he?
Yeah.
Because, she goes, you were the first one on the list because you killed Syria.
Yeah.
Don't know if you remember him. I don't really care. And it's like,
no.
Yeah, so she's then follows him. And he sort of recognises her, he's sort of he's looking at her like, I know you.
Yeah, he's like, do I know you? Do you know?
And then he's got 3 of them lined up. He's beating them. One of them's got the hair over the face. And then he sends the others away because she's taking a beating.
Yeah, he says this one's got willing, or this
one's going to be a tough one or something.
Yeah,
punches her in the gut and stuff like that. It's just
nothing bloody. Yeah.
And then just pulls the wig down because she takes one of the faces from the because basically once someone's dead, the skin, you can just
peel off.
You can become them. It's a way to have a hidden identity to blend in and be no one. Then she takes it and then it's her and then she jumps up, she stabs him through both eyes, she's stabbing him in the chest
Creed style,
and tells him before he dies of why why she's doing it, and then slits his throat and kills him. But that gets her in a bit of trouble with Jacques and Hagar because he was not on the list. He was not the name that she should have taken.
No.
From what do we say to the god of death? So, because I forget what the young girl is who's like her, but sort of higher up and knows sort of the ways of being like a faceless person.
I can't think of her name, but them two don't get on.
Yeah, she keeps like constantly tormenting her and stuff like that, and says you're not ready, and then a life must be played with for life, and he's got like this vial which you think like he's gonna pour in her mouth, but he
because you see her hold him, and then he just drinks it himself,
and then falls on the floor. But then Jaqen's not dead because he was the girl, and then it's like shows that like to become like this is what happens when you become no one, or like you have to. Like, whatever. It's literally like the trippiest thing.
Yeah, no, because I was just going to ask all that. I said, what on earth does all that even mean? So does it mean I say not Sirio.
Jaqen H'ghar.
Jaqen H'ghar in season 1.
Yeah.
Was that him or was that the girl all along?
I think it was all him all along. I think, as far as I know, Jaqen H'ghar
is Jaqen H'ghar
still alive? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that even when watching that again, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, literally, I just got baffled. I was like,
yes. So, and then it ends with like she sees her own face as part of the faceless ones, and then
like, what?
And she starts to go blind.
But she did. Yeah, and then she goes blind. Yeah. Like, what the hell?
And so that is her arc for next season.
What the hell?
Well, not even next season. Like I don't know.
But she's not in next season.
No, she's in next season, but like.
Like, what the hell?
How long? I don't remember how long she's blind for.
What the hell?
It's a real because I think he does it to teach her lessons, like to teach her patience and like the whole thing of like we've got rules. This is why you follow them.
Yeah.
So that's already done. So we've done. Is that everything in Essos? So
it must be. Yeah.
Back across. We'll leave Jon Snow for last for obvious reasons. King's Landing.
Very obvious.
So Tommen's getting on with old Marjorie after the wedding.
Very friendly. Yeah.
Yep.
Lovey-dovey.
Which Cersei hates because she's getting her claws into her. But they're both competing because they know that Tommen's very easy to manipulate because he's very young. He's very young and he's very naive.
He is.
So
he can't play the game that well.
Yeah, Marjorie tries to get him to send Cersei back to Casterly Rock.
Yeah.
And then she responds by getting because there's a new religious order because there's like the
I can't think what they're
the High Sparrows.
The High Sparrow, yeah.
No, the Sparrows. Because the High Sparrow is played by Jonathan Pryce. There's so many, because there's different religions, because if you're Southern, you believe in the new gods, and if you're from Northern, you believe in the old gods. So they always say, like, I swear by the old gods and the new.
Yeah.
Religion's really hard in Game of Thrones. I don't try and understand it. No. But the Sparrows are a different thing.
I'm glad it's not just me that thinks that.
Because they believe in, like, equality for all. Like, if you're going to be tried on everything, it's everyone. It's your lords, your ladies, your kings, your queens, not just your common folk.
Yeah.
So the High Sparrow played by Jonathan Pryce, as you'll all know him from Curse the Fatal Death as the Master. 10,000 years in a sodding sewer. And he then, what he does is
what does he do?
He just teaches Cersei their ways, and she gets him in. He's in the church, like she gets him into the setback, like because the new High Septon gets accused because they find him. There's a lot of brothels this season, so they find him in a brothel.
Very brothel heavy.
And like they make him do the walk of shame, like whipping him through the streets naked, and if he covers himself, they hit him, and says because it's a crime because he's a member of the church. Blah blah blah. And the High Sparrow becomes the new High Septon.
Yeah.
Because it suits Cersei.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to use that because they know about Loris being batting for the other team.
Yeah.
So that gets him imprisoned, and then gets Marjorie because Marjorie knew
about the affair.
Yeah, but as they all say, everyone knew. No one just really cares. But because it's that,
because it's
a crime.
It is a crime
against the church.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing that. Marjorie ends up in prison along with Loris.
Yeah, because she was sort of like I say, she sort of walked in on them. She saw her brother do the deed, and
Cersei knows that Cersei's plotting, but also she forgets to realise that her cousin and the former squire from the early seasons, Lancel Lannister.
Yeah, geez, talk about blast from the past.
Yeah, who's had his head shaved and become
he's kind of regenerated
member of the church, or a member of the Sparrows.
Completely different.
We'll get our terminology right next week, but. I guess so. Because she slept with him, but so she admits to that, but not to the stuff with Jaime.
Yeah,
because
which everyone again, like you say,
everyone knows whispers. Which Cersei admitted to her dad just before he died. Little known to her. So she then gets thrown in there as well, and they will let her back in the So if she repents for her sins, she has to do the walk of shame, and then in the eyes of the Lord, she will be forgiven. So she'll be allowed to go back. So they brutally cut her hair, she's bleeding from the scalp because they literally
just
get the blade and just
old razors,
and scrape them. So she's got just
loads
almost
of blood pouring from her head.
strip her naked and shame.
Shame.
But all the way from the High Septon to
the castle.
Back to the
King's
castle.
Landing.
Yeah, and it's a long old walk. She's got covered in blood and feces and food.
See
everyone's
toes
throwing stuff at
bleeding.
him. Yeah, people are spitting on her, shouting at her.
Oh.
Yeah, and she has to take all that, and then by the end she's sort of
literally
beaten down
and crying.
Which you never really see Cersei like that, which is
because she's always one of the dominating, powerful figures that you can. She's always got something with her face.
She's always steel in those eyes, isn't
scheming.
She? Yeah. And she gets there. She's taken by Maester Qyburn. He's the disgraced Maester Qyburn who experiments because, as we know, with season 4, he's carried on his experiments with Sir Gregor Clegane, the Mountain, after he was poisoned by Oberyn Martell.
The Mountain experiment.
And then he, so the Mountain experiment has worked, but he's basically zombified, reanimated because he's still got the poison skin and all that. So they put him as a member of the Kingsguard, in the full gear. So he's just a big, hulking figure.
Quite frightening.
And her personal bodyguard, and he has a vow of silence, doesn't he, until all the enemies...
until all enemies are dead and the king is all... Until everything's basically fine.
Basically till the last episode. Yeah, until
the last episode.
Through the land.
Yeah.
Until just after Clegane Bowl.
Oh, damn.
And then, yes, and so am I. So he takes her away, and I think that's really it for Cersei.
Yeah, that is kind of how it ends.
Because it's her wrestling, trying to have control of her kids, Well, only kid, because Joffrey's dead and Marcella's in Dawn.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's really sort of it for Cersei. Because I know she's struggling with the church, struggling with Marjorie, trying to also keep the kingdom running because she's running the small council.
Yeah, because that gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah, got Master of Coin, who's having to go and like deal with the bank in Bravos, which that crosses into Arya's story a bit because he has to travel across the sea because the crown's in severe debt, mainly still from Robert, but also from just how expensive it is to run a kingdom. I guess I don't speak from experience.
So we can't speak from experience, but obviously expensive industry.
So while Jamie's there, she sends him to Dawn because she receives a threatening message from Dawn. There's the Sand Viper with the Lannister necklace that she left Marcella with. Is sent from them, and because the people of House Martell, or some of them, not all of them, are very upset because Oberyn's head got crushed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was in a trial, as they say, it was in a trial by combat. It's law, it's not murder. As Oberyn's brother says to the Queen of the Sand Snakes, who is Susie from Torchwood.
She is. I totally forgot.
You looked that up. Yeah, so she sends Jamie across to Dawn to bring Marcella home. So he goes with Bronn because Bronn's unhappy with his betrothed and his life, and it's like, you come with me, I'll get you a much better woman and a much better castle, and we'll have some fun because we'll be in Dawn and we'll be killing people.
Yeah.
So they sail over. It's just them. They got a small ship with a small crew, but then it's them two taking the boat ashore, trying to sneak in. They fight. Bronn. I love when Bronn leaves him and he goes, "That one should be slowing off." Leaves it for Jamie because obviously Jamie's now fighting with his left hand.
Yeah,
but his gold hand comes in use because
his hand is sort of stuck.
Yeah, the sword gets stuck.
Yeah.
In the hands, and he uses the other one to drive his sword for him.
Mm.
But as they're trying not to make a scene and start a war, he says, better bury these bodies, but I can't really dig with this hand, so it's all you, Bronn.
Yeah, it is all Bronn.
And they've got this guy, his ride horses and find Marcella because she's. It was all because of Tyrion's plan to arrange her marriage to Trystane Martell.
Trystane Martell, yeah.
To keep that alliance, to keep Dawn in the fold.
Yes.
So, and Marcella and Trystane have actually fallen in love.
Yeah.
So they're like, But
as it turns out,
as Jamie says, rarely, like sometimes, like
yeah, that's the thing. As it turns out, it's proper genuine love, and
he says rarely
it does work out.
Arranged marriage is so well arranged. Like
Yeah.
But obviously he's got more personal stake in it because it's actually his daughter, not his niece. But as he keeps saying, it's my niece. I care about her.
But then it's when she turns around and goes, "I've always known about you."
You're skipping ahead. It's not.
I thought that was that moment.
No, it's not because they get there and then she's like, so they discover that they've obviously like killed some people to get there, but they meet with Oberyn's brother. I forget his name. Bronn is thrown in jail because he punches Tristan, didn't he, in the jaw?
He did, yeah. He just went up to him and went,
yeah, to try and keep him quiet. But obviously that gets him thrown in the cell with the other sand snakes who tease him and poison him and then give him the antidote.
The mum's Ilara.
Yeah.
Ilara.
And those are children with... The girls are the kids with Oberyn, aren't they? Because he goes, they're my nieces. And for your sake, for their sake, I hope you live a long and happy life. But if you talk to me like that again, you won't. Because his brother's... Oberyn's brother is paralysed. And he's very sort of diplomatic in his solutions because he knows that as much as angers him, he can't start a war. He knows he can't do for the good of the people because they're quite a small part of the world, Dawn, and they won't.
Oh, yeah.
To keep them in the fold with the Lannisters. And they know that they need the Lannisters as much as the Lannisters need them.
Uh-huh.
So, because he says, like, obviously I can't ignore my king's demands to have his sister back, but I'll do it as long as Tristan goes with you, because if our alliance is to, like, continue, then their engagement...
What the hell?
And their engagement must continue, and he can take he can take Oberyn's place on the small council. And Jamie's like, yeah, I don't see why not. And then takes him back, and you think, it's all good, hunky dory. And then what's her name?
Ilara.
Then like kisses Marcella goodbye, blah blah blah. And they get on the ship, and then it's the admitting moment because there's something I need to tell you. I've known. I've always known about you and Mother, and I'm kind of glad.
Happy to be. Yeah, you're my dad.
Because it's weird because Jamie's never sort of had that sort of like adult mentality, has he? No. Really? He's always been sort of like, because he was all sort of Lothario and like, basically, just like the swashbuckling hero, and there he's like, because he's gone on a big journey from after he got captured and like losing his hand and that, and he is very sort of aware of what he's got.
He's done a 180.
Yeah, I love Jamie, like, and he only gets better, like his attitude, like throughout, and so he's. Like having a tender moment with so she knows that she's his daughter, and it's sort of like, oh, it's sweet, but then blood starts dripping from Marcella's nose, and then
good God,
she dies in his arms because there was poison on Ilara's lips. Yeah. It was like you see her like start to bleed, and then she like wipes it off because obviously she can't forgive, even though she says like she had no part of it, and even I believe to a point like that Jamie didn't have a part of it. Like that's still their family, what that family's done to her family. Which ends in Marcella dying, which is really sad because
she was like the only decent Lannister, really.
Well, Tommen's decent. Tommen's just a bit of a,
He's just a bully.
He's a diamond in the rough. He needs to sort of. Without Cersei, he'd be a lot better. But
very.
But I digress. Yeah.
It's the end of that arc. Well,
so Jamie's on his way back from Dawn with Marcella's body, which I don't think Cersei's going to be very happy about.
Yeah, ain't going to end well. Yeah, hello sister, I love you. Here's your daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he got that moment just before she died, and
it did
sweet. But I feel that's going to be some problems between Dawn and the Lannisters to come. Maybe not. So that's all
Dawn
that
done.
thing.
Yeah.
Someone else who didn't really do a lot. Ramsay. Well, did you know? Sans a Ramsay thing. Okay, so
Reek.
Do you love me, Reek? I don't. So he's taking her.
So
he had her in the Eyrie.
Littlefinger.
Yeah, so Sansa was in the Eyrie with Peter Littlefinger Baelish.
Yes.
And there you go.
Yes.
There we go. He's getting there. And she's being taken because he's got a marriage proposal, even though he's married to Aunt Lysa. But she realises it's not his marriage proposal. It's for her. Because the Boltons now hold the North. Littlefinger is using his powers of manipulation and
Palpatine
weaseling his
is-
way into everything
He
for
kind of has to.
to marry, because Ramsay was legitimised, wasn't he, as a proper
Ramsay
Bolton.
now. Yeah.
And so she's to wed him, and then
Mhm.
she'll become.
Like
She is the key to having Northern people trust them because they trust the Starks.
Yes.
So
But good business. He knows how to play chess. He's played a lot of games of chess.
chaos is a ladder. Not all can climb back up it once they've fallen off. Yes. So, but Ramsay was legitimised, but also knows the threat that his father's wife is pregnant, and if she has a boy, that is a more legitimate claim than
to the
him,
throne.
because it's
It's
as much as he's been legitimised, he still was born out of wedlock and was born as a bastard child.
Yeah, he is still the
So
bastard.
if he had a little brother, it would be a more legitimate claim to Winterfell. And as Ramsay says, I'm only your son when it suits you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because Roose is just as scheming as his bloody son. So he's
least
still
he
got
knows that.
Reek, who, Sansa keeps calling Theon. He's like, no, it's Reek.
No,
Call me Reek.
Only
And she's
Reek.
saying about trying to escape. because
no escape.
She's realised that she shouldn't have gone with him, because after she marries Ramsay, he then begins to abuse her physically and
That's
sexually, because he makes because he makes on their wedding night makes Reek watch what he does to Sansa, and he says, "No, don't close your eyes.
Yeah.
You're watching this.
No, Reek." Because he walks out the door and he goes, "No, you're
staying here.
You're."
I didn't say close. Watch."
Yeah.
And
And
that's a
no,
really powerful bit when it's just you can hear what's going on, but you
can't see
Theon just crying.
Yeah.
Because he says Randy says you knew her when she was a girl, now watch her become a woman, and it's like you know that
It's
as much as he's betrayed, he betrayed Rob from going back to his father, but he only did that because he wanted to feel appreciated by his father. And he even said, like we said before, my real father got beheaded at King's Landing. So he feels bad for what he's done.
Yes.
So feels some kind of connection towards her, and then has to watch that, and he's just crying, and it's that's a really powerful moment.
It's deep. It's horrible.
And she says, go and hang this candle, because she knows that Brienne's
on the top tower, the top floor.
Brienne's watching out. She's she's coming for her, and then if you put this in the window, then that will signal she'll come, she'll get me. And
there are friends that still look out for you.
She gets caught by Ramsay, and Ramsay skins one of the Northern maids.
Who kept talking to her. I can't think of her name, but she was
one of Sansa's friends.
So,
not a friend, but
she was there originally.
Yeah. And then she gets flayed.
Alive.
So Brienne's still waiting. But another funny development is because that's sort of it, because you can't really say that without going a bit further north. And you go to the old... So Stannis is still at the wall. We'll say what he does there. We won't say everything that happens at the wall, because there's some important stuff at the wall, isn't there?
There's too much at the wall.
So Stannis, rode in, subdued the wildlings. He orders Mans Raider to be burnt as a message to the wildlings.
Yeah.
But Jon puts him out of his misery. Oh, Jon Snow! He puts an arrow through Mance's heart, which the free folk, especially Tormund, appreciate, because it was a mercy killing.
A mercy kill, because being burnt alive, I can't imagine.
Because he said, I don't want them remembering me like that.
I can't speak from personal experience, but I wouldn't want to get blimmin' burned alive and flamed.
No, because your heart would give out before it would even kill you.
Well, yeah.
Because it would just be the panic. But, so Stannis is doing that, and then he asks Jon to go with him. So we'll do where the story goes up to, and then when they branch off, we'll leave Jon. So, obviously, there's a new Lord Commander is being elected, because Jor was killed in the mutiny at Craster's Keep. I believe Alistair Thorne, and they say to him, Alistair Thorne's likely to win because he's running for it, and so is some other guy.
But then
Derek
people,
something.
the people trust Jon.
People trust Jon the most, but he's not up for it. So it's them. So it's basically odds on that it's going to be Alistair Thorne. And they say to him, life will be healthier if he gets elected, and he goes, I imagine so. And he said, and Stannis goes, my brother always spoke often and loudly about how difficult it was to control the North and keep the people in check, even with your father's help. Give me the North. Swear your fealty to me. Give Benjani, give me a sword, and you'll rise again as Jon Stark. and I will make you Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North. And Jon even says that's all I've ever wanted as a kid, was for his father to say, like, you're a Stark. He says, but I've got to refuse him because if I...
But no.
Because he goes, if I break my vows here, what kind of leader would I be? Which is fair enough, because it's his father's way of thinking.
It is.
Because it's like he does the honourable thing. It's the right thing.
Well, it's like what everyone says to him. Even Alistair Thorne is like, "Oh, you've got a good heart, Jon. That'll get us killed."
Yeah. Because he agrees to let the wildlings through.
Yep.
To give them safe lands.
Which no one tends to like.
Yeah, but that we have to get to Hardhome for that. But we'll be back for that bit. So he says, like, thanks, but no.
Yeah.
Like, I can't accept that.
Thank you kindly. Yeah.
Wishes them good luck, and then they go, like, they start journeying south towards Winterfell to take it back from the Boltons. It's the winter is getting harsher and colder because they're so far north. Their horses are dying. They've got men starving. They send Davos. He sends Davos back to Castle Black to get some food and horses and men.
That's right. Yeah.
And when I'm on the Iron Throne, I'll make sure it's manned by as many people, and they can man all the castles on the wall and stuff like that. Blah blah. Blah. But Melisandre says that they need to make a sacrifice to the Lord of Light for them to get there, for them to win, and she
no bloody sacrifice.
Gets him to burn his daughter Shireen at the stake. And it's really sweet because Shireen's like, whatever I can do, Father, to help, I want to. And he's really against it because he keeps going, no, that's my daughter. But as soon as she says that, it's almost like in his brain, it's like, okay.
Do it.
It's like he switches.
Do it.
And then he burns her alive, she dies, and the winter does get, like, it starts...
extremely cold.
Snow starts melting, like, so they can get there because, as Davos was saying, like, we won't make it there and we can't go back. So what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So he's gone. So Davos is back at Castle Black.
Yes.
Stannis keeps marching towards the Boltons. He's severely outnumbered because a lot of them rode off after he killed Shireen, and then his wife hung herself.
Yeah, she was saying all show long that that ain't my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a disease. She's a plague. Yeah. It's okay. This is what the Lord wants us to do, so we must do it. And then the guilt finally gets to her, which is good because then it means that she actually cares about her kid.
What goes around comes around. Yeah, but it's
tops herself.
Still sad.
Yeah, and she's like, dead in the woods. So Stannis is literally losing everything. So then Davos is not there because he sent him away. Melisandre also rides off. Like, we've seen her leave.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, great. And then he's outnumbered and his army gets slaughtered.
Within minutes. Well, because you see them go towards each other and then it cuts to him in the woods. Because you sort of skip the fight.
Because, like, you see the Bolton army riding out. And they just outnumber him, like, so much.
Like that, yeah. Like...
And then you cut to the woods where he's taking stuff down, but he's, like, limping. And then he gets, like, takes another 2 down. But then, like, he's resting by a tree.
Yeah.
And then who should rock up? Because she's given up waiting for Sansa, but just as she leaves, like, the window, the light comes on with the candle.
Yeah.
And in the commotion, Sansa and Reek jump over the wall of Winterfell into the snow to escape. We think, maybe. Oh. We'll find out next season.
Yeah. Probably not at this rate, knowing the show.
No, you do. You find out what happens to him.
Yeah.
So that's how you round off Sansa. Ramsay's still like, so he'll be like, "Where's my wife gone?" Because he's out there like slaughtering like people. I accept your surrender, and then stabs a guy through the chest.
Yeah, beautiful.
But so Brienne and Podrick, who were waiting, she finds Stannis.
Yes.
And says that this is for Renly, the true king.
So I am
Brienne of Tarth.
Served stationed for Renly Baratheon.
First of his name.
Does all the epic speech.
And Stannis, to be fair, is just like, do your duty.
Go on then, love.
Because he knows he can't. Because he's literally sitting down against a tree, like bleeding out. So he's like,
all right.
Yeah, and so she avenges Renly because Stannis is the reason the demon killed Renly. Avenges him.
Face on it. Yeah.
A shadow with the face of Stannis Baratheon. Have you seen the video on Kylo Ren's outtakes?
No, Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren's outtakes because obviously Gwendolyn Christie plays Captain Phasma.
Yeah.
They put the clip of that in. Like there's a bit in, so they've redubbed Kylo Ren's lines, and it's really well done. And like one of the things like Phasma comes up to him and goes, "Sir, I saw a shadow with the face of Stannis Baratheon," and like Kylo Ren just turns to the camera and goes, "Stannis."
Really? Oh, okay, well, I'll look it up. I won't play it. I'll just look at it.
I'll show you it after, mate. It is so funny. It's one of my favourite videos. Okay, so she's done that, and Stannis' army is no more. So we travel back to the last young gentleman.
Yeah, the last Jedi.
Because nothing's happening. The Greyjoys aren't in it. You don't see Yara. You don't see Balon.
They've given up.
So back at the wall.
No Branny either.
Because they have the speeches like. Just as like before the counselling thing, it's like, well, if no one else is, and then Sam puts Jon forward because they say they're good points about how long they've served and that, and Sam says he might be young, but he's the commander we all turned to when we needed him because he took charge. He says like, yes, Sir Alistair thought bravely, and then like he takes the mick out because the bald one that's his sort of like number 2, like his friend who was in the King's Guard, because it's like I found him cowering with the women and the children, but that's by the by. And then, Jon took command of the wall and then went down to help fight when Sir Alistair was injured.
Yeah.
And then so Jon is then up for Lord Commander and wins the vote because Maester Aemon puts his vote in. Yeah. And so Jon is now Lord Commander of the Night's Watch.
Whoop, whoop.
And he because he sort of like believes like what Mance did, that because he's seen the White Walkers, knows that there's something coming. So he needs to get. His goal is to go, because there's no Mance, to take Tormund with him, to get
all the wildlings.
To get the wildlings on his side, and then take as many as he can
over the other side of the wall,
back through, and then give them passage through the wall, so they're safe hands, because they know the White Walkers won't be able to get over. Well, in theory, won't be able to get over it or around it because of the magic that the wall is built on.
Supposed to,
keeps it out. So he travels with Tormund to Hardhome. Massive vision, was it like hundreds of thousands of wildlings, because it's got all of the clans, like some don't believe him, some are going with him, so he starts loading like some of them up on the boats and like taking them rowing back to the ships. But then you can see a storm
literally
cresting the mountain, like a blizzard, but
it's
there's
like
something
an
in
avalanche.
it. And but one of the scarred guys, I forget the names, you've said them before, like closes the gates, and like you just see like consume it, and then like it's just like silence, and then you just see White Walkers just going at the gate, just like trying to crawl their way in. So they're rushing to get everyone on the boats, and then Jon takes the men that he took with him.
Yeah,
he's left Sir Alistair in charge of the wall, like Castle Black, saying like, you're in command till I get back, because no one else would have done it, and the wildlings wouldn't have gone with just Tormund.
True.
So he goes to try and form an alliance to carry on as if he would Mance's work. And be a man for the free folk. And he takes the crows that he brought with him to defend the gate while they keep loading the rest of the wildlings on. And like there's kids being loaded on all sorts of stuff, and then they gradually like getting through, like breaking stuff down.
Up, you see people shooting down the gates, holes through the gates, even a zombies going underneath the gate.
And then there's like you see on the 4 horsemen almost of the apocalypse.
Yeah, literally,
Like the Night King and his generals on their horses, and you see them just like overlooking everything. They send loads that just jump over the cliff,
and it looks like as if they
it's like a World War Z moment, isn't it? They just like land in a big pile.
You sort of think, why has he just sent them a bunch of bones, and you just see them all move and just
they slaughter loads of them, and Jon just about manages to get away on one of the boats because White Walkers can't swim.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the only things that has sort of been established.
They can't swim.
They can't swim and they can't climb the wall. And they can be killed with dragonglass or by burning them.
Because that's the thing, they went there as well because they had a supply of dragonglass, but then in the end they had to leave that behind because there were so many. Yeah, there was.
Did they? No, because Jon grabs it in the hut because like one of the Knight Generals like stabs the guy, says like, I'll take him or you go for the thing. But and then it's also how Jon learns that his sword Longclaw, that he knows that Valyrian steel. Can also kill White Walkers. And as they make a note of, there are not enough Valyrian steel swords left in Westeros
to kill them. Yeah, okay.
I mean, there's 2 like Brienne's got one, and Joffrey had one.
I thought he had a random sword, lost it in the fight against the general, and then picked up a random sword, and that's
no Longclaw. That's all Longclaw.
That was Longclaw.
Because Longclaw, the ancestral sword of House Mormont, was a Valyrian steel sword, and Stark's execution one, the beheading one that he used in season 1, was melted down and made into the one for Jaime that he gave to Brienne, and then Widow's Well that was for Joffrey's wedding.
I see. Okay, but that's the only Valyrian steel that we know of.
there's loads of them. If you like, there's a good video on it. I forgot who done it. Who talks about all the state, like where all the swords are in the show.
I see.
And where they would be in context of the books if they were still if they existed in the show, and the fact that also there's a lot of Valerian steel daggers. Like if you've got enough of them, you probably have enough to melt down and turn into sword. Yeah, because
Sam was the dagger, the Valerian dagger.
No, Sam had the Dragonglass dagger.
Oh, that's Dragonglass. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So they need Dragonglass and Valerian steel, and they need it bad. John is then on the boat, sees because then all the White Walkers have got to the shore. You see those piles of thousands, hundreds of thousands, just dead wildlings.
It's like something out of a game.
It's literally like I remember watching that episode thinking, wow! Like I didn't think anything would take my breath away, like Red Wedding, but that was just. So they're just looking at each other, the Night King and Jon Snow, and then the Night King just raises his arms, and all of the wildlings that were killed are now part of the army of the dead.
All the losses are just simply they open their eyes, you see the blue glow, and you just think, crap.
Every casualty of this war then joins the other side. They will never run out of bodies because they will just every one of you that they kill will be one of them.
Which is frightening.
The ones he gets to save, like John even says, I didn't save nearly enough. And Sam's like, but that doesn't matter to these people. You saved all of these people. Like it's not like you did any of that in vain.
Yeah.
And and Sam also says, because Sam's been looking after Maester Aemon, who sadly passes away.
Another character.
An old Targaryen.
I've lost count of how many people have actually passed in this show. But not just
now his watch
this season. Ended. I've lost. It felt like loads of people. The people died most this season. I feel like.
And he dies while John's off at Hardhome, and Alyssa says you're running out of friends because some are not there because they're off somewhere else, and Maester Aemon, who he was really close with and allowed Gilly to stay, has passed. So then they burn his body, give him a send off. He says to John when he comes back that you need to send me off to the Citadel to learn how to be a Maester. Because that is the only way I'm of any use to you. Yeah, he wants to protect Gilly and he wants to be of use to John because he says, I'm no good here. Because I'll just be waiting. I'll just be waiting to die because I'm not a fighter. So because he'll learn at the Citadel, he'll learn the medical practices, he'll learn all the historical stuff, and he wants to be John's Maester. So he wants to go learn that. So he sends Gilly and Sam away to do it, and they ride off towards the Citadel, which will come into play a little bit later. I think he goes home for a bit as well. I think he's because on his way to the Citadel, he stops off at House Tarly. And you actually see Randall Tarly.
You actually get to his dad and everything.
Yeah, you see his dad, and his dad's a proper arsehole.
Cool.
I think I remember because I think House Tarly has a Valerian steel sword, and I think Sam takes it.
Oh right.
I'm not 100%. But we'll see in season 6. So Sam's riding off to the Citadel to learn. So John is left severely outnumbered because he knew, he even said to Maester Aemon before he passed, this is a decision that half of them are going to hate me as soon as it comes out my mouth. And he says, half of them will hate you either way, so just do it.
Yeah.
At least make a difference. And so the wildlings that he saved, because, for generations, they've been
enemies.
They've been the enemy, haven't they? Yeah. And the hatred has been there for the wildlings, and
I say you might never be friends today, but at some point when this all passes,
hopefully we can live in peace. That's what he's all about, because they deserve to live as much as he says. Not all of them are monsters. Not all of them are the ones that killed. They killed Ollie's village, and all his family and that. But that wasn't all of them. That wasn't the children. That wasn't all the women and stuff like that. They're just trying to survive. And so he's left sort of on his own as Lord Commander. Ollie comes in and says, "Your Uncle Benjen. There's a wildling man who says he knows where your Uncle Benjen is," and which is because they know that Uncle Benjen is one of the only family that he's got left that he trusts and loves, and was the reason he came to the war and wanted to be part of the Night's Watch.
Loves Benjen.
So they take him outside and say, this man, he saw him last at Eastwatch by the Sea or something like that. They say one of those kind of names, and Alice is he's just over there. There's a crowd of them round with torches. He goes into the middle, expecting to see someone. It's just a sign that says traitor.
It's just
the ones that disagreed with John's decision and everything he's done for the wildlings are there, led by Alistair as a mutiny. And as John turns round, Alistair draws a dagger into his
For the watch.
and they all proceed to do it
For the watch.
for the watch.
It's not because they didn't like him, they do it for the watch. But that right
They're
there
doing it for the good of
is
the watch.
BS. It's BS. They've hated him since day one.
Well,
They're jealous.
Alistair has, but he's turned them onto his side by what he's done.
They've actually killed the best character, and I am done with the show.
Are you actually?
Yeah. Screw it. I'm not here next week, folks. I'm done. I can't.
So Jon Snow is then left
No more.
as you see the life drain from his eye holes.
Bloody ketchup.
They're
Oh, no.
my eye holes.
The ketchup squirting from his colds.
So
And it's just that final image.
Yeah, and it's just John bleeding. Because I remember that got leaked. Like before I saw that episode, someone leaked it on Twitter.
Oh, did
Like that image of just John lying there in the blood, and then it's like, oh, John's dead.
Oh, really?
But
They leaked it.
Is he? Dun dun
Oh, stop teasing
dun.
me with that shit. He's gone.
So yeah, Jon
He's
Snow is no more.
He's gone.
What did you think of this? So that's all the main threads.
Yeah.
John's dead. Sansa's escaped Winterfell with Theon.
With Reek.
Ramsay and the Boltons still hold the north. Stannis'
They won
army
their
is
battle.
dead.
Stannis is now gone.
Tommen is still
with-
king, but he needs to get his wife out of prison and her
Because
brother.
he was kind of quiet the second half of the season.
Because he goes, he's like, that wasn't me, and then he sort of goes a bit Joffrey when he's like, I'll kill every single one of them, but he knows he needs to be wise. Cersei is battered and
Was in
broken
prison,
and is
yeah.
very dangerous right now,
Oh, yeah.
especially when she finds out that her daughter's dead.
Oh,
When Jaime brings her body back from Dawn.
God.
Daenerys is on a hill somewhere with some Dothraki horde.
Yep.
Tyrion and the gang are
Looking
sitting
after-
tight and waiting, hoping that she comes back soon.
She won't.
And
She'll be dead
Arya's
next season.
blind.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the most trippiest thing I think out of everything was Arya.
I don't remember how long that lasts. Because
Mm.
obviously, as you know from the trailer, from
Well,
season 8, she's not blind.
No.
I literally don't remember. Like, that is one of the only things of season 6 that I don't really remember is that
Arya.
sort of bit.
Mm.
Like, I remember after she's not blind,
Yeah, but it's
because
just
she
that-
does some cool stuff. But, like,
Finally.
but yes, it is all still to come on next week,
If
season 6, the
if I-
last normal size season.
If I can be bothered to watch it.
No,
I
look,
need a couple of days to get over
Oh, yeah,
this.
give it a couple of days,
Give it a
because-
couple of days.
I will say this. Season 6 will be the most payoff for you, for stuff that you've been like, for people that,
Well, since day one.
but for people that have wronged you
So
in your
many.
mind,
At this rate.
a lot of them get their comeuppance, and a lot of people are redeemed. And I think that for season 6, it is my favourite.
It's your favourite.
Mm.
Okay.
But yeah, what would you give? I don't remember the scoring system for this. Like, I think I've given like 8, 9, 10, 9.
Yeah, because I say
I
9.
give it a 10 just because of Hardhome. Hardhome does like it's
It's
like a really good quality season, but when you get to Hardhome and you just
It
get,
was
oh,
just-
this is the scale that we're after, and it's just,
It is. That was beautiful.
it's insane, isn't it?
That episode itself sort of raises the mark a bit. Because I say, for whatever reason, episodes 1 and 2 bored the crubbish out of me. Because I think I started it.
Or
I
the
think
crubbish.
the crubbish.
Crubbish.
I think I started it. I think Saturday. No, not Saturday night. The Sunday night, and then I didn't watch no more. So I was on episode 3 until
No
Tuesday,
more.
very late Tuesday night.
Mm.
And then I literally watched. In my mind, I was going to watch 2 Wednesday, and then like all of them today. But from episode 5 onwards, it then got good.
Yeah.
But then Hardhome, Hardhome is it? I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
Hardhome, yeah.
Picks it back up.
And you're like,
The last
yes.
3 are amazing, and what happens to the characters and their arcs are amazing. But then they killed John, and I just can't approve it. I really can't. I can't approve of John. My favourite character since day 1 is now gone.
Yes!
I can't approve.
It's been
it.
that long that 4 things out of my list have installed. It's a good little wrap up. Are you okay? I feel like this was like therapy for you, Connor.
Therapy.
He's resting his head against the pop filter, just trying not to
Therapy.
cry.
Therapy. No, I mean I've got it
Next
out.
week,
but-
season 6.
No, you have to do it on your own.
No, you're
I
Connor,
can't.
Connor, you can do it, but look at me.
No, Connor. Only Greek. Only Greek.
Oh, we should actually do that. Like have Matt be Ramsay and you be Reek. No, Connor, just Reek.
Just Greek. Just Snow.
I will say this, that there is a certain battle of some bastards on the horizon that will knock your ruddy socks off.
Ramsey. Well, obviously not John now.
Yeah,
Who's
John.
other bastards?
John's a bastard.
Yeah, no, but there's other... But John's off, isn't he? So who's the other
John,
bastards?
Oh yeah, John's dead. Well, technically, I'm trying to think
That's
of
who's the other bastard.
Gendry's still knocking about after season 3.
But you say you don't come back till 7.
He doesn't, but I'm just naming the bastards.
Yeah, well, okay.
Gendry.
Well.
Gendry's my favourite of all the bastards.
Oh,
I can't wait for Gendry to come back. Because, like, the thing is, everyone, like, made the joke of, like, where's Gendry? He's been gone for, like, ages, like, in season...
He was a bit of a meme, was he?
Like, yeah, like, literally, like, throughout it was, like... But Gendry's still alive, right? Because they because, as we know, like, they haven't alluded to him. Like, he's gone back to King's Landing.
Nope.
And then he
Nope.
rocks up, I think, in the trailer for season 7, and everyone just lost their shit. I went, Gendry's back!
Yeah.
Because, like, he is the kid, like, he is the last of the bloodline of Robert now.
He is. He is all...
Renly
he
dead.
represents Stannis.
He's the he's the
Yeah.
last he's the last person with the Baratheon heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Does he get legitimised?
What?
Does he get legitimised?
I was going to say he is a legit claim, but then he isn't because he's a bastard. But
if he can get a claim, if there's someone on the throne, if he joins a certain force,
then
I can't wait for like Gendry's so good. Like he is useless, but he's so good.
He's an everyday fool that gets become a badass.
Like I will say, like when you get back to him, it's like, oh yeah, it's kicking off. The boys are getting back together.
The boys are back in.
There is a super secret boy band episode that is really good.
A super secret boy band.
Yeah. I really want to tell you what happens, but I can't.
A boy band episode.
There's a group of characters.
Yeah, who all come back.
I will give
and sort of reunite.
Well, they don't all. They do all reunite. They have never crossed. Not all of them have crossed paths before. But it's a group of very likable characters from all of it, and they have to go on a very dangerous mission together.
And they become the next Backstreet
And they
Boys.
they are literally like it's almost like Fellowship of the Ring. Like they on this mad journey together, and they have to come back.
Baggins and everything.
Like not your normal group of friends, but they do some serious bits. And Gendry's there, and it's and maybe there's a Clegane or two.
And Bran. Well,
We should.
He's the only character that really didn't appear.
Okay, so the reason that Bran doesn't appear in season 5 is because, in order to streamline the books with the TV show, you have to, because there's points in the books where characters are just not in, like for a while, and to streamline it, they take stuff from like other stories, like chapters, and then so it gives them something to do. But because Bran had got up to, I think...
The Three-Eyed Raven.
I think he got up to the Three-Eyed Raven at the end of last season, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And I think, in terms of the books that were written, that was it. And because none of the books had been written, so it was like, okay, so he's caught up. There's nothing we can get for him to do. Because for him to be able to do what we need him to do...
We need
when
to
he's
write
in next
some
season,
material for him.
When he's in next season, other characters have to finish their journeys
first
for that story to entangle with what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we get to season 6, like he is back in season 6.
Yeah.
He's gone through puberty. His hair's a bit shorter, and
he's a new man.
He is integral to where the story goes, and some very important characters next season. And that is all I will say for that. But thank you very much for joining me this week, Connor.
Yes,
it's a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure to spend a bit of time with you without Matt, which is every week.
At this rate,
yeah. So
yeah. Oh well, I may or not be here if I can bother to watch it. I mean, I do need a day to calm down and recover.
Watch Leisure Hive. That'll calm you right down.
Susan
O'Toole, really did good. Watch the Behind the Sofas. That's what I've done.
I'm finishing Revenge of the Cybermen first for season 12.
Oh, you're still working your way through it. Yeah, you really got a gentle old pace for that. And the good thing about that is you can just drop in and out. That's the thing.
No, Revenge of the Cybermen hasn't got me interested, and like I say, Game of Thrones has been in the way.
Yeah, that's the last one of that.
It is, but it's been a slow burner, that one. But I'll probably watch that one again.
Yeah, have a chill out. Watch some of your collections, and hopefully maybe another one will be announced soon. For the love of fucking Christ,
please.
I don't think we're going to get an announcement until like the end of April, beginning of May. If it's a June release date, we're not going to get one until like end of April.
Well, this is when I have a feeling it's going to be something silly, like it was with 12 and 19. I feel like it's going to be like a long gap. I don't want there to be a long gap.
Well, no, they said they've got the money to do 3 or 4 of them, so you'd say do 4, do one every 3 months, which we've had one in March.
True, yeah.
Then we'll have one in June, have one in September, have one in December. Especially in a year when we've got no bloody content.
Exactly. BBC, go on it. Please.
Yeah.
Please.
But until then, I've been George, he's been Connor.
I have been Connor.
You can...
Next week I'll be Rick.
You can... Do you love me, Rick? Ricky, do you love me? There is a video idea. It's a parody of In My Feelings, but I'm dressed as Rick.
And Ramsey.
At Pasty Sheep, if you want to follow us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I need to change the Twitch logo because we've got a new logo done by Thomas Steele. Big thanks to him.
Part of the Brotherhood still.
Collaboration incoming.
Oh, right.
So, like, literally, we keep saying to each other, we really want to do it. It's just like we need to sort it out. Some guests. He's also doing a logo for the podcast. So if that's done, before this comes out, then it will be you'll have seen it and you'll have hopefully like it.
Approve of it.
If you don't like it, then I don't really honour your opinion.
Two words for you.
He's also said he might be doing a little intro graphic video. So like the.
Oh right. Oh cool.
Such a gentleman.
Oh lovely.
Means I haven't had to pay anyone. Aha!
Peasants.
And if you want to get in contact with us, Connor, they can send us questions, can't they?
Yeah, believe it or not.
nobiblecontact@gmail.com.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
Stole my lines.
Yeah, sorry, man. And get in touch if you want an ad read, because we need to build some bridges and then burn them with,
burn them down.
with various Lannisters on them.
Oh, every Lannister. Well, apart from
what's the main quote this season for the Watch? It's the only one I can really remember.
For the Watch, Valar Morgula's.
That was last season, really, wasn't it? I don't really remember anything that said apart from "Do you love me, Rick?"
Shame.
Shall I call this episode "Shame" or "For the Watch"? Probably "For the Watch."
Yeah, For the Watch. Yeah. I guess.
I was going to say I can actually put Jon Snow in the thumbnail, but he was in the season 1 one because it's him, Robin Brown. I'll figure it out.
Tyrion
and Daenerys.
From his mind.
Well, Jamie hasn't been in it yet. I've had the Stark boys. Then for season 2, I wanted Renly in there. Renly and Marjorie. Season 3 was Roose Bolton stabbing Rob. Season 4 was Oberyn Martell's skull crushed, lying next to the mountain. So I'll try and find a obscure one because I want everyone to have a bit of limelight. Yeah. Maybe Daenerys. Possibly. Maybe Barristan. R.I.P. Pour one out for your homie.
That's a shout.
Until next time, Connor. I will see you next week and
sayonara.
See you next week, gentle listener. Goodbye.
Bye.